Hello everyone, Sandrak here. So in this video, I'll be briefly mentioning my thoughts on the Ayaka's new banner, or what is supposed to be the Ayaka's new banner, and whether you should pull it or not, depending on the 4 stars and the 5 stars. Before we get started, just one more channel announcement. With what happened with Majestic recently, I believe for the safety of this channel, I'll probably move away a bit more from the direct so-called leaks and stuff like that. However, I'll continue to be bringing you guys news regarding the latest information we have on Genshin. However, I'll talk a bit more from the perspective of quote-unquote personal speculations rather than actual evidence. So with that said, I will no longer be putting any sort of actual in-game footage that is not supposed to show up yet in any of my videos anymore, as well as any screenshots. However, with that said, if you're still interested to see where I generally take my info from, or where I get my so-called speculations from, I will be posting them in Discord. So if you're interested, please join my Discord, because I believe that is a more safe space for me to share my information source without getting cracked by MiHoYo. Now, of course, with that said, let's get into today's video. So again, personal speculation here. Ayaka's banner will have Ningguang, Yanfei, and Changyun most likely as the 4-star characters. Yanfei, because her last rate up was 1.5, which means her current rate up should be 1.7, and the current, or 2.0 in this case. And currently Yoimiya is already a Pyro DPS. It makes 0 sense to toss another Pyro DPS into Yoimiya's banner. So we're looking at Yanfei in Ayaka's banner most likely. Ningguang, because she hasn't been rated up since 1.3, and again, Yoimiya being a DPS, there's no point tossing a Geo DPS into her banner. So Ningguang will most likely be on Ayaka's banner as well, and Changyun. Now, of course, with that said, this banner makes it one of the most interesting banners so far, mostly because this banner has 0 supports in the 4 stars. Changyun is more placed as a sub DPS, applying cryo infusion onto teammates' swords and polearms and claymores, and also his Q is also his main source of damage when doing the sub DPS build. Ayaka is going to be a main DPS. The closest she'll get to a support is a quick swap build, but even in that case, she still serves as the main DPS. Yanfei and Ningguang are both made to be main DPS in terms of build, mainly because their catalyst using and their abilities limits them having not much capability for supporting, which is why they're generally built as the main DPS. And so that is very interesting about this banner. There is no support in this banner, so in a sense it is very good for new players to get this banner, because if you get this banner, if you get Ayaka, you get yourself a solid DPS moving forward. If you don't get Ayaka, Ningguang and Yanfei are both very playable at low constellations. Let's use Ningguang as an example. She is perfectly playable as C0. At C1, she sees her first power spike. At C2, she basically sees her second and biggest power spike. And her next one doesn't come until C6. So comparing a C2 Ningguang to a C6 Ningguang, you're pretty much only missing the damage coming from the constellation of C6 itself, with of course 3 levels minus the E and 3 levels minus the Q. However, those can be compensated if you do tend to raise her to very high skill levels. So that is what's good about this banner. However, at the same time, if you are lacking support, this is probably not the ideal banner for you, because this banner is again all DPS, and if you have no intention on expanding your DPS cycle, because mainly what's good for new players and players who are preparing for the Abyss is to work on 2 DPSs first, and then you should go work on all the supports instead, mainly because DPSs tend to only need 1 per team when it comes to building for the Abyss especially. However, you do need a lot more supports for the team, and then normally in most situations, any DPS is capable of doing good enough damage in the Spiral Abyss. Now, of course, if you're building DPS Barbara, that's a different story. However, supports need to be constantly swapped in and out between the different floors of the Abyss depending on the situation. So again, this banner is good if you're looking to expand your DPS collection. However, this banner is not so good if you're looking for supports that can carry you through the end games of Abyss. Now, of course, with that said, what we do know is that Yoimiya is coming next banner with Sayu, who is going to be a pretty good support. On top of that, the other two that follows will probably be supports as well. My current guess is going to be Shenling and the one between Diona, Xingqiu, and Beidou. So with that said, if you're looking for supports purely from a 4-star point of view, you should probably be looking at the next banner to be the one to be pulling on instead of this one. However, again, if you're looking to expand your DPS collection, this is probably the better one for you. That is all the information I have for you today. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. Thank you and have a nice day.